So when is the best time to use your Tinder Boost? I did quite a bit of research, and I discovered that everybody is saying online that it's between, say, 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. Or maybe 7:30 at the latest. So there's only really a short window for you to start your 30-minute Tinder boost between 6 and, say, 7:30. Now, the issue with that is that Tinder says when is the best time, or when most users are active, which means everybody knows when the best time to use their boost is. And usually that is, 6 to 7:30 p.m. And they also say that Sunday or Monday or maybe even Tuesday nights are usually the best nights. Now, if everybody knows that Sunday night, between 6 and 7:30 p.m. is the best time to use their Tinder Boost, what you've now got yourself into is a Tinder Boost arms race with every other man in your area that will be boosting at the exact same time, which would, in fact, just level you out as if no one was boosting at all. So then Tinder introduced some sort of a super boost. And then next thing you know, for a short period of time, there's some simp men that are out there spending more money again just to not only boost during the peak time, but to super boost over the top of all of the other men that are boosting while spending more money. And the only winner is Tinder, because they're extracting more money. Soon, you're going to have a whole bunch of men that are super boosting, that will be defeating all of the guys that are just doing the normal boosts, and the guys that aren't boosting at all aren't going to get anything. And then there's going to be a super duper boost and an ultra super gold platinum boost. Next thing you know, the arms race gets so out of control, and the only person that wins, or the only entity that wins, is Tinder, extracting more money from men, exploiting men. So when you think about it, when would be the best time for you to use your Tinder Boost? I would argue that you'll have to choose another time. Maybe even boost it earlier, or maybe even boost it later at night. Maybe even do lunchtime, where you'll be able to maximize your boost time. So if you think about it in a game theory sense, if everyone's boosting at the same time, there's no use you doing it then at all. Just pick another time. And there's also the probability, if you think that not all girls are going to be on at the same time between 6 and 9 p.m. on a Sunday night, or every night at 6 or 9 p.m., there's going to be a lot of girls that will be on at lunchtime too. So maybe boosting at lunchtime and not wasting it while competing in this boost arms race with all these other men would be a far better strategy. Because keep in mind, there's player versus player out there. You are competing with every other man on this app for every woman's eyeballs, right? Just so you can get some sort of attention. But then we get to the natural conclusion of this is, what is your mate value, and are you in the top 20% of men? Because we know that these dating apps work on Pareto's law, which means that the best looking guys at the top 20% get 80% of the matches. This is Pareto's law. This is the 80-20 principle. And this is a proven fact on all of these dating apps, especially Tinder, which means if you are not in the top 20% of attractive men, it doesn't matter how much money you spend, you're only going to get to put yourself in front of girls who will then have the ability to just swipe right on another guy who is in the top 20% and choose him over you. And then you've just spent money to put yourself in front of a girl that was never really interested in you in the first place, because you're in the bottom 80%. Keep in mind that these dating apps are for women to punch up and get guys that are above their mate value, while this it's also used for men to punch down or get chosen. Men become the prize. Men become the beauty queen, right? Men mostly swipe right on almost everything, while women, they just select out the beauty queens. And so the men on these dating apps are the most attractive or most desirable men always, and they don't need to spend a cent. So effectively, what you've got is 80% of women all targeting the top 20%. And you might think, okay, so there's too many women for all these men to have. Well, the thing is, you got it wrong, because women aren't horny all the time. So when a girl might get horny and she wants to sleep with a guy, she might only need to have one night stand once every 3 months. Whereas these other guys, if they have literally nothing else to do with their lives, they can sleep with a different girl every single night. They can literally service the entire 80% of women if they choose. And that means 80% of men are sitting there with no matches and no success at all. Now, if you're watching this, there's a good probability that you're trying to look for hacks so that you can get more matches on Tinder, and you're trying to wonder what's going on. Oh, well, I've gone out and got some really good photos, and I've tried to pretend that I'm taller than I am, and I've done the face app, and I've tried to make myself look more attractive than I really am, and then when the girl meets me, I just end up wasting my time, my money, all this extra time on photo shoots, maxing it out, and then I don't end up with anything at the end of the day. And then you got some other guy who's in the top 20%. He just doesn't pay a cent, puts up some average photos, swipes right a few times, and sleeps with the girl that you put all the money and time and effort to put yourself in front of. Then all the time and effort and money to take her out on a date, she doesn't sleep with you, she sleeps with him. So how does that make you feel? Like using Tinder? Probably not a good idea. And so if you're in the bottom 80%, well, then there's no use you using it at all. And what's your options, right? So if you're like under 35, if you're like under 30, then you can hit the nightclubs still and try to meet a girl. If you're under 35 and you're above, say, 6'1", then you're still within the range, so you can still go to the nightclubs. Or you have a lot of money to throw around and get yourself a table, and again, you're effectively playing the Tinder boost strategy in a nightclub. Or, effectively, you've kind of just got to use your social circle, your group of friends, maybe work colleagues, and then that can get you in trouble as well. So you got all these other options, and not all of them are that effective. You're kind of trapped to some extent. That's where I come in, where I think I pitched my case quite well. The nightclub's not that easy to go and pick up girls if you are not tall and the best looking guy in that group. So this is where I come in. So if you check out the top link in the description, I got an article that I wrote there. But on top of that, what I've done is you can also just go to the website and sign up to do some cold approach coaching. This is something that I recommend that you do. And hopefully this video made sense. I think I pitched my case quite well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.